Well, we'd like to welcome everyone. The main event is obviously Alex. There's life before Alex and there's life after Alex. What we want to do beyond that, maybe the group can reconvene. A poster I put together for today and went out on Facebook. A mindset, if we are, say, looking for a remedy on a difficult situation, well, how about we consider the universe is mental? Now, what I mean by that is it's a mental construction, and even quantum physicists are starting to agree with that the universe is actually a great mind machine rather than a physical construct. When they look into the matter, they can't actually find anything there. It's just a vibration, and it's affected by our thoughts. So careful what you think, and careful what you wish for, because you might manifest it. Nowhere is safe in a fear vibration, but in a love vibration, everywhere is safe. Just think about that. The only solution to all those issues is spiritual. What's another word for spiritual?
Consciousness.
Consciousness. What another word that I'm looking for? I call it values. It's how we treat each other and how we treat our external environment. If we perceive that our external environment and everyone around us is actually connected to us and is an extension of us, then we might treat it a little bit more kindly. But some of the other solutions, like economic, right? There are groups which are trying to solve a lot of these issues using Westernized economics of all things. Well, Westernized economics actually defines us as consumers. And if you identify with that mindset, then being a consumer, you have to be controlled at all costs or even eliminated, when we could actually identify ourselves as producers instead. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah, the difference between consumer and producer, right? If we look for solutions military, well, one of the great solutions for that is let's blow each other up and see if we can save humanity that way. That doesn't seem to make sense either. And the only real solution to all these issues is spiritual. Because until we change our values and how we interact with the world, then none of the other ones will be complete. Yeah. There's a quote which resonated with me very strongly, and it might be relevant to what's being presented today. And it comes from the Essene Gospel of Peace. Has anybody heard of that? The Essene Gospel of Peace?
It's my favourite book.
Sorry?
It's my favourite book.
It's fantastic, isn't it? It's all over. It's on the internet, the whole thing, and it's actually a gospel which didn't make it to the Bible, right? And it was translated in the 1970s. And I'll just give you a summarised quote from.
Excuse me, how do you spell that? How do you spell that?
The Essene Gospel of Peace.
Did a spell for it?
E-S-S-E-N-E. And I'll give you a summarised version of one paragraph that's in that gospel. And it talks about law and legislation. This is Jesus up on the mount giving a sermon. And what he says, I've got to find the right paragraph. Yes, here we are. Scripture, to me that's legislation. Right? Scripture is the work of man, but life are the work of God. God wrote laws not in pages of books, but in our hearts and in our spirit, in our breath, our blood, our bone, flesh, bowels, ears, eyes and ears. Law is life, whereas Scripture is dead. Right? So that resonated with me very strongly. Scripture legislation is for the dead. Let them have it. We know the Master of the Age, again, what we were advised to do was love one another as I have loved you, regardless of trespass, denial or betrayal. Yeah. And just to finish what I've been saying, I regard Alex as a spiritual warrior, and from the highest metaphysics I work with, it told me not wanting anything is a warrior's finest attainment. And I do attribute that to Alex. And I'm wondering if he'd like to get up here now and start the show.
Thank you very much, George.